I'm Reverend Father Dr. Simon Jugona Waiderero from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Kenya. When we were given this opportunity, which I'm calling a privilege of hosting the Pan-African Theological Congress, we were just anxious to know where it's different from other conferences that we have hosted in this university. As a Catholic priest, I was enticed by the evangelical integration of this whole Congress. It have all the religious faiths in it, and when they are talking, you can feel the oneness, the wholeness of our Creator, God. And for the first time, I felt a family. I felt a family that was dealing with the real issues, with the real environmental issues, with the real issues dealing with all people across the genders. And especially what touched me is when we were dealing with the children whom sometimes seems to be marginalized, who can be assassinated psychologically, morally, intellectually, given different orientations. And this Congress created another paradigm which is very high, that the children could be embraced by everyone and feel, yes, I belong.
I'm Dr. Peter Jones. I am a moral theologian and a professor at the Institute of Pastoral Studies at Loyola University in Chicago. I was surprised to be invited to the Second Pan-African Catholic Congress, and that occurred only 3 weeks ago. But the timing worked out, and I'm so excited to be here because I've met so many extraordinary people, and I'm working here with Father Stan Elo to bring together a group of leaders who, across the African continent, can create an African edition of an event that I helped create across the Americas.
My name is Pascal Norbert. I'm a journalist with the Seed magazine here in Kenya, and also the editor for the Catholic Information Service for Africa. I was invited here by the organizing secretary, Mumbi Kigutha, to cover this event. Initially, we didn't know anything about the Pan-African Congress or the Pan-African Theology and Pastoral Network. But when we got here, I got to understand. I went through their website, I talked to Mumbi about what they do and what it entails. I was really intrigued by it, to come and realize that it is a gathering of theologians, not only theologians or not only priests and the clergy, but people from all walks of life, and not only from Africa, but also international, to come and share the ideas that they have about the church in Africa, the experiences that they've had outside here, and how to help the church in Africa grow. And of particular interest was the theme, because it's talking about building a vital church. And this is something that is still in the clouds. Not so many people want to really tackle it. And this Congress is coming at a time when we are talking about synodality. And it is something, even for us communicators, it's pretty difficult to understand. And there are some issues that this Congress brought about, issues to do with conflicts and violence in Africa, issues to do with protecting the child and the neglect that it is there in Africa, issues to do with LGBTQ, that when an African hears, it's very difficult in the head. But these people are coming together, irrespective of their own opinions, to come and listen to one another, to find a solution that can work for Africa. But one of the key things, I was speaking with the board advisory members. I spoke to Bishop Kusala, I spoke to Bishop Sitembele Sipuka. I also spoke to Sister Jose, the first ever African woman to be appointed to the International Theological Commission, and they have different insights. And the idea is not basically getting a unique idea that is different, but because Africans have their own initiatives, and these initiatives can work for Africans, the process that we need to go is implementing these initiatives. That was the biggest thing. And I came also to realize the biggest role that theologians can really play in this process of synodality, because you have people with different experiences from different backgrounds, different communities for the clergy and different congregations, but they've come here for one common goal, to get something that will work for the church in Africa. And I think this is the biggest thing. And such a congress is really important because most of the time this knowledge, this wealth of wisdom is always kept in books. But this is a congress where you find that these people have come together to actually speak it out for other people to listen to it. I really hope that many more people and many more congresses such as this happen, not only here in Nairobi, but it moves to different parts of Africa and the world.
I am Dr. Simon Mary Ayokai. I'm an Associate Professor of Systematic Theology at the University of Portland, Oregon, the United States. My work primarily is within the world of interreligious dialogue, religions of Africa, conflict, peace building, and then that issues of decoloniality and reimagination of the identities and how identities are constructed in our world. We need everyone to be on board. We need leaders with vision. But first and foremost, we need to undo the traumas that we all experience, which means we have not yet engaged the traumas of colonialism that affect all of us. I call for a continental discourse on the traumas of colonialism playing out in this continent. It is only that way we can change the narrative and then say, now we can move forward. But to think that nothing happened to us for over 200 years, and for some parts, like in South Africa, for over 500 years, to think nothing happened to our collective psyche through the traumas of violence that were coded into colonialism, and think we can just get up and move on to a new dawn of life and the imagination of our future, is to tell ourselves the grand lie, because something has happened to us as a people, as a continent, and we must own it. And owning it is the first pathway to liberation. We must tell ourselves we are sick and we need to be healed. So this is the whole conversation, and this is what brought me to this Congress, and this is what I have come to share with my brothers and sisters, not just my heterosexual brothers and sisters, but Africa's LGBTQ plus community. And as I was asked to chair the research unit of the LGBTQ plus research program for the Congress, I take that responsibility seriously. So at these conversations and all the places I find myself at this Congress, I have been very intentional in calling attention to the concerns of this community. These are our fellow Africans, they are our children, and they are in need of our love, our respect, and our recognition of who they are as human beings worthy of dignity all the way. Thank you very much.